So we could bring another new trilogy.
Another fabulous trilogy of lesbian movies.
Yes, this one is Cheryl Dunye.
Cheryl Dunye.
She is, she wrote and directed and starred in The Watermelon Woman. She did another film later which is what we're starting with.
We're starting with The Watermelon Woman, which I've never seen.
I saw it once. It was released in 1996, I believe.
That's all the good ones were.
Yes, and so
90s were booming for lesbian films.
It was. I was like, going from like the 3 in the 80s to like the 10 in the 90s, and then to like it evolves. But yeah, so this is The Watermelon Woman. I saw it once. It's my recollection very abstract, so I'm really.
It looks like it's starting abstract.
I'm excited to go back through it. Just
check it out.
Check it out.
I love new films.
Yes, so
especially lesbian new films. So,
and it's all all interchanged and everything. Guinevere Turner is in Watermelon Woman. She was in Itty Bitty Titty Committee. She was in The L Word. She's the talk show hostess in Itty Bitty Titty Committee.
That's what you were saying. Got it. Yes.
And then she's in this movie with Cheryl Dunye, and she'll be in another movie we're actually doing, which is Go Fish. So they're all very much in the movies together. The other and Guinevere Turner's actually in the third Cheryl Dunye film we'll be doing, which is The Owls.
The Owls.
Yes.
Cool.
But I'm very excited.
So let's get started with Watermelon Woman.
The Watermelon Woman. Yes.
The Watermelon Woman.
The Watermelon Woman.
All right.
Check it out. Thanks.
Check it out. Check out this next clip of.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Snapshots from the film, and then we'll talk about how we felt about the film.
I'm excited.
I'm more excited.
It was way better than, again, I understand why that was very hard for me to follow when I was...
It's kind of in a documentary style, so I definitely had to stop part way through the film and be like, okay, wait, is this a real film or is that not? I just have to know, because there are shots that are set up very much like a film, and then there's a lot where it's like documentary.
That, right. There's two facets I felt to this movie. Like, the part where she's like going through the archival footage and telling the story of the Watermelon Woman, I loved that whole part of this movie. That was amazing. Cheryl's story with Diana and though I did think her friend was really funny.
Diana's friend?
Not Diana.
Cheryl's
friend.
Yeah.
And synopsis.
Tamara? Is that her name? So the synopsis of the movie is a young film. She works at a movie store. Video store. She wants to start making movies and stuff, like her and her friend who both work at the video store, like film weddings. Like that's how it started off, was like them like at a wedding, like doing like footage. So
videographers.
Right. So it was kind of interesting. I wasn't 100%. I know nothing about it, and so she wants to start documenting. So because she works at a video store, she likes to rent, and she can get access to these like really old films, and she really likes these old black and white films with, I think she called them mammy films, but basically there was this one film called like Plantation. What was it? The Plantation Memories.
Oh, was it? Plantation Memories?
It was something like that.
Yeah. And all this was part of it. Like, that was, sorry, all this is
So
fictional.
she is wanting to learn more about this actress because, you know, she was saying a lot of black actors back in the day weren't even credited.
Yeah.
So, and then this one woman was, her name in the movie was the Watermelon Woman. So, her wanting to kind of look into that more, she starts digging. And so, there's also, like, you know, it's a romantic comedy. I think that's what you said.
Yes,
romantic comedy. So there's a love facet to it. They are gay. They do have a very gay sex scene. So, but the documentary stuff and the archival footage was so convincing to me that I was like, okay, wait, so was this about a real woman? And it wasn't. It was all
fiction.
The woman who wrote it and directed it played the main character, Cheryl. So that's where I was kind of also getting confused. So this was her experience in school, was she was going through old footage and going through history. And so at the end there was a quote that said, you know, sometimes you have to make your own history. And so I thought that was really beautiful because she's trying to make stories about lesbians and I think more specific black lesbians. And so not only is in the film that's what she's researching, but the actual director got to make one of those films and added to it, and
that's huge what she brought to you know, film.
It was really good. I really liked it. I thought it was, I don't think I laughed a lot, but I cared. Like I was I believed her cause. The acting, you know,
the acting was not the best.
It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst.
But the film and the concept and the way it was all able to be brought together was really amazing. Like, I understand why I didn't really I wasn't able to follow it so well when I was younger.
So there wasn't, like, really reality TV. So having these sort of different elements of film going back and forth. It was, you know. Because there was the film part where it's like, and then there was the parts where she was documenting, and then there was the documentary footage, the archival footage. So I thought it was a really good film. It was definitely, I have to say, like, it was a little less like, oh, these characters just so happen to be gay, because there's a huge element of it being important of finding queer women in history. And
no, this was
so I thought that was really cool and really awesome, really beautiful film. I would recommend it to any person who's into queer cinema. It's a very big piece of queer cinema history, I would say. I think it was. I never heard of it. Candace said you saw it when it came out, and so
not like in the theaters, I'm sure.
But it's a great movie. I've been kind of thinking. I was like, is it 1.5 thumbs or is it 2? Because
1.5 for me.
1.5 for you. Because I feel like
have to count for the acting.
That's where I'm like, if the acting was a little bit better.
Because those are choices. Like, you know, there was a couple
fumbled lines, and it's like,
which could have been a retake.
You could have definitely said, okay, hold on, it's totally cool. It's cool you messed up. Let's just reshoot it. So.
But the concept and, like, again, the archival footage, like, that whole part of it was just
so convincing and so beautiful.
Yeah, I loved that the love story she painted through Faye Richards, you know, and her relationship she had in Hollywood and Philadelphia. Like, I was really a part of that storyline.
I loved it.
And that's, I guess, what goes to say about acting is then...
That's how you carry the story.
So the people, even in archival footage, so therefore they're not even talking, but her narration had me completely caring about it. However, the acting... someone was credited for making all the archival footage and photos, so I was like, okay, so that person had their own direction, had their own sort of, like... Because, there was some, you know, they're trying to show old footage of this woman and the director kind of having this love affair, and it was so good and subtle that...
I didn't see that in any of the rest of the films. So I'm like, okay, so obvious. But you know what? I
see what you're saying now.
the archival footage was so well done.
Yeah.
It was done better than the film.
Yes.
And so with the acting and such. And so I have to give credit to who, I think her name was Zoe or something.
Okay.
Gets credit for making that talented.
Because that
the
footage
photos,
is...
she made so much history, like, for this fictional character, which is so beautiful. And so, so it's like, I want to give it 1.5, but I feel like it deserves 2, at least for me, because 3.5 thumbs to me is the accurate rating.
That I can totally do that.
Because I'm like,
see that
I care a little bit less about the bad acting, because I'm more like, it was the times, and this is such a great film. You're a filmmaker, so you're noticing those things as I wouldn't do that as a filmmaker. And so I think, like, you know, I'm far more judgmental about musicians and stuff than you are. And I'm like, no, that is not okay. And you're like, that's fine.
That works.
So I just think that's maybe where that comes from. But bad acting. Could have taken, maybe, I don't know if you guys were, like, running out of time or something, but.
Yeah, and we even thought about it when they fumbled. The thought may have been of, oh, it seems more natural. But unfortunately, when you fumble a scripted line, it sounds like you fumbled your line. Like, it's like, oh, we're lesbians, and it's like,
right. I mean, because sometimes people stutter in real life, but she wasn't stuttering. Her character was not somebody who
had a stutter, was nervous,
had a stutter, nervous, especially when it comes to calling yourself a lesbian. Like, that should be an easy line to come out. But I thought it was really good.
Yeah, so
check it out.
Check it out. Watermelon
We got
Woman.
it on Amazon. With a free trial for what was it?
Fandom, I think, was the channel that is.
But if you search it on Amazon, it'll bring it up, and then it'll say you can do a free trial. So
and then if you don't like it, cancel it after 7 days. But watch as many of their movies. Yeah. 7 days. Watermelon Woman, be one of them, for sure.
Definitely check it out. It was not a waste of time.
No, it is great. And then we have 2 more Cheryl Dunye films to watch and review.
It's cool. Yeah. Check it out.
Watermelon Woman.
Woman.